Okay, so I'm so excited to dive into the universal laws, because without some understanding of these laws, it is very difficult for us to evolve out of this small self, this lower vibrating self that we can get stuck in. And mainly it's because we don't understand these laws that are infinite. They never change. They are absolute. They are intelligence. And when you are able to line yourself up with these laws, this is when you're able to rise above. This is when you are able to become the spiritual being that you took a soul contract out to come here, to evolve, to learn, and to finally discover, explore, and observe the spiritual being that you truly are. So we get pushed to our edges, right? We get pushed to our edges. But when we can go past those edges of discomfort, of any of the lower vibration, lower negativity emotions that we carry with us, that we actually layer on top of each other as we go through life, when we can push to that edge and we can transport ourselves past that discomfort. So we have to understand what's going to happen after we get past that. Because a lot of us don't trust that it's going to be better, right? And why don't we trust that? Because we don't understand it. We doubt it. We say we have this faith, but yet we doubt that by transcending the negative energies and the experiences that we're living through, we doubt that it's going to be better. If I go through this relief, if I go through this discomfort, is it going to be better? Well, you might have some other discomfort coming that you may still have to transcend. But each and every time you do that, you start lighting up. You become lighter. You start expanding, and you start understanding that this body is expansive. That I am not just here within the outline of this body. That I am consciousness. Life is consciousness. And you start expanding. Why do you think the mystics and all of the people that have gone through these transcendental, say the word? They transcend? Transcendental? Transcendent. Yeah. Well, okay. So we're going to transcend past the limits that we have created. You have created those. Right? They are not your truth. You have created them. And when we take that responsibility into our being and we understand that, then we create this desire. Now I'm responsible and I'm accountable. Now, I've got this desire within me that's going to help push me to do something about it, right? Because I no longer can be dependent on somebody else to do it for me. I no longer can blame somebody because I am feeling the way I feel. Right? We have to let go of the blaming. We have to let go of the shaming. And we have to go within this universe that we are. I mean, we are this. This is a grid. This is a matrix. And there's no ending. The universe is filled with circles. Circles. If you ever want to look this up, you'll see, well, it's all circular motion. No beginning and no ending. And that's how we can live our life, knowing that we're in this circular pattern of life. Right? We give, we receive. This creates this universe and this flow within us. And we start to flow with that instead of flowing against it. So the first one is divine oneness. So that's what we're going to explore today. Humankind is not woven the web of life, but we are but one thread within it. Whatever we do to the web, we do to ourselves. The web being this matrix, the web being this universe. Whatever we do to the web, we do to ourselves. All things are bound together. All things connected. Now look at this. 1854. Chief Stieler. Yeah. I got a glare on it. Okay. This was a chief. The Indians, they had it. It's too bad we didn't learn from them. Because they knew what it was to be connected and interwoven into everything. They were interwoven and interconnected to the animals, the plants, the waters, everything. They respected every single thing, all the threads within life. They respected. And in respecting and knowing their connectedness, they got back, right? They got back. They were empowered. They knew how to live according to nature, to the divine universal laws. So, 1854, what a high consciousness that was at that time. So what happened? Okay, so we're going to dive into the Course of Miracles a little bit because we need to understand why we do not feel this oneness. Why aren't we feeling this connectedness? Why aren't we feeling this oneness? The separation. The separation was not an act, but a thought. Was not an act. We did not separate from Source, Spirit, God, Universe. We have never been separate from that, right? There was not this action that changed everything. It was because of the way we thought. Our thoughts changed. Our thoughts went backwards. Our thoughts started telling us who and what we were in the experience of living life and being in the world and listening outside of yourself. We were no longer connected to the inside, to the universal connection, to that relationship. Now we were living outside of ourselves. So our thoughts were controlled by others. We were guided by others. There was no longer this connection of this inner space, this sacred space within us. So it was through our thoughts and our feelings that shifted us into thinking that we were separate. So I took some things out of the Course, the origins of separation. The first thing that happened is we believe that what God created can be changed by our own mind. Think about that. Second, we believe that what is perfect can be rendered imperfect or lacking. How many of us don't feel that we're this perfect divine being? How many of us feel that we lack? We're not enough. We're unworthy to even begin to think that we are made in the image and likeness of God. Third, you believe that you can distort the creations of God, including yourself. We believe that we can distort our being. And we can if we are not in alignment with our oneness and our connectedness to the universe. Fourth, you believe that you can create yourself and that the direction of your own creation is up to you. You have one direction. We are all spiritual beings. We can't change that. That is all there is. That is truth. Universal law. Divine oneness. Now, if you're living from your humanness, if you're living outside of yourself, you're darn right. You're going to believe all of these things. So that's why we come here, to learn how do we get back to this interconnectedness that we are to the all. These distortions represent a picture of what actually occurred in the separation. The detour into fear. The detour into fear. The Course teaches there's either fear or love. If we're not love, we're living in fear, right? So that gives you a little bit of insight into the separation and why our thoughts have changed us into being a more human being than we are spiritual being. This is another Course in Miracles. Forgiveness is the healing of the perception of separation. Forgiveness is the healing of the perception of separation. Please don't ask for yourself to be forgiven. You are forgiven. You are the universe, and there is no forgiveness that you need for yourself. You are guiltless. What we are here to do is to learn to forgive. That's what we're here to do. We are here to learn to forgive. To forgive that we separated and that everybody else has separated in their mind, in their human mind. Okay? Forgiving the guilt. Because we are these spiritual beings. We are carrying around guilt because we would even begin to think that we were separate from Source. So there is a guilt that we consciously are not even aware of. But that's why you're here, to become aware of why you feel separated. And one of the reasons is because you felt that you separated from this divine oneness that you are. So we're here to learn to forgive. Okay? And that means in our relationships. Our relationships are here to point out what is no longer whole and healthy within you. Whatever happens outside here is coming to you because of a desire in you that you needed to learn something from it. It didn't come to you just because, it's passing by and you get to experience that. Oh, no, that's not how it works. It came to you because it was something that you desired. Maybe subconsciously you're not aware of it, but you have desired to experience it and to grow out of it. And we said earlier today, if you don't do the work when it comes up, when you get the triggers, when it comes up, guess what? What's going to happen? You all know.
Comes around again.
Come around again. And guess what? It's probably going to be a lot harder than next time.
I was with 2x4.
Spiritual 2x4. Yeah, spiritual 2x4 going to whack you all up. Yeah. And that's why most people get to a place where they're sick and tired of being sick and tired. Because it's come around so many times and they haven't addressed it. They haven't done the forgiveness work. All these programs, these 12-step programs that take you through, what's step 4 where you write an inventory?
Make amends.
Yeah, make amends. I mean, you have all of these tools out here to use to practice forgiveness so that you can move forward, so that you can move to the next thing that's going to come up for you, to the next relationship.
Don't be a fearless inventory.
Yes, there you go. Yes, fearless inventory. Yeah, that's how it works. It's that circle again, okay? Yes. For perfect effectiveness, the atonement belongs at the center of the inner altar, where it undoes the separation and restores the wholeness of the mind. Isn't that beautiful? Let's read that together. Can you all see that? Okay. For perfect effectiveness, the atonement belongs at the center of the inner altar, where it undoes the separation and restores the wholeness of the mind. Atonement again, at one meant. At one meant. Now we can feel that we're at one with ourselves. And the way you can tell that you're not is by how you react to others. Are you reacting to them at a level that you know that they are one with you? That they are a reflection of you? That's your first indicator. So when you see that you are not knowing the truth, that you are one with everyone, there's no separation. If you are reacting to them from a place of woundedness, then you are not at one with yourself. I've heard people say, well, I had that within me. I feel that. And then go out and be defensive or attacking others. Then there's no concept of that. There cannot be. So I had dinner with someone the other night, and this person was kind of searching for where she needed to start. She had gotten away from being this, spiritual being, and she was wanting to know where she needed to start from here. And I asked her how she felt about herself. Well, I don't care if I don't like myself much. Self-love is the foundation of all love. That's why we have gone through so many talks about self-love. The mirror work that we've done here. When I give you all your little mirrors, I know you don't care for it, but it's very important that you're able to look at yourself in your eyes to your soul. And sometimes it takes time to get where you can. It took me a long time. I shared with Julie yesterday that I had to do the I love you on the mirror. I had lipstick. I love you. And for the first few months, I couldn't even look in my eyes. I would do it because, okay, I'm going to do this because Louise says, this will help me to love myself. So I go in there and say, I love you. I would never look in my eyes. The first time I looked in my eyes, I cried so hard I made myself sick. I couldn't believe the pain that was coming up for me. It was unbearable. But I continued to do it, and I continued to do it until I got to a place. And I did the work in between. I addressed the pain and did what I needed to do. But I finally got to a place where I could get up and look into my eyes, into that inner child, and say, I love you, Lisa. And today I do feel that love for myself. I cannot love you guys if I do not love myself. We love to the degree that we love ourselves. So this is the foundation. This is the start of atoning, of getting to that one with yourself. And then you have that connection to spirit, that when you see another person, that love radiates out from you, has you, and you're able to, no matter what the other person that you think has done to you, because they're your savior. They are saving you by treating you in a way that you need to address a woundedness inside of yourself. But it has to start within you first. It has to start in the inner altar. I am not my thoughts, emotions, sense, perception, and experiences. I am not the content of my life. How many of us think that we are our story? That we are our experience? This happened to me. This is who I am. I can't change because this happened to me. I lost all this. I had all this deaths in my family. I can't change. I got all this sorrow in me. That's not what you are. It is just an experience that you are having to help you to get to who and what you are. To learn to rise above it into your truth. So when we hang on to these emotions And these pains that we go through in our life, these struggles that we go through, when we hang on to them, we begin to think that it's who we are. It has nothing to do with who you are. It is here to assist you to get to the spirit that you are. I am life. You are life. You are living. You are eternal. You are life. I am the space in which things happen. I am the consciousness. I am the now. I am. I am the space in which things happen. You are in a space of creativity. You are the creator. This is where things happen. There are unlimited possibilities. All you have to do is tap into that. What was the daily word? Expectation. Expect it to be. What does it feel like? I'm going through this phase of a new car sitting in my driveway. I envision it. I see it sitting there. I know the color. I know the leather. I know everything about this car. And I am so excited. I can't wait. My expectation is creating an energy that surges to the universe and says, yes, 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 yes. This is my desire, and I got it, and I got it right now. Right now. I am the now. When we think about past and we go ahead of ourselves, we are not going to connect to what we are trying to manifest. Manifestation is here, right now. That car is in my driveway right here, right now. And that's how you manifest. Now, I am. The power is in you. The answer is in you. And you are the answer to all your searches. You are the goal. You are the answer. It's never outside of you. And that's what we are teaching here, to bring you inside. You can sit here all you want, but if you do nothing that we teach, if you walk away and you don't have an experience that helps to shift you to another level, to a higher frequency, what good is it? Now, if you keep coming back, as they say, keep coming back. If you're not feeling it, if you're not doing the work, keep coming back. Be in the energy of it. The connectedness that we are is affecting you, whether you're sitting there thinking, this is a bunch of bull, or whatever you're thinking. You are still sitting in the energy of consciousness where people are feeling that way. Rippling out to you. If you catch the wave and go on the surf, fine. If you're going to go under for a while, fine. Just keep doing it, because it will be. I am the example of that. I was a drunk. I had affairs. I've been married 4 times. I am the example about everything you can do to come down to a lower level and what it looks like and feels like to stick with it and do whatever it takes to come out of it. Now, I am power. Now, I know that every answer, every search, every goal, everything I need is right here, right now. And as long as I go right here, right now, I do okay. And do I do it perfect? No. No. Right here, right now. So we're going to go into a song called Oneness. I'd like you to get relaxed. I have a meditation. It's a little bit longer than normal, but I really want you to have this experience. We are going to always meditate here now because we're going to go inside, right? So let's get comfortable in our seats and just relax. If you feel any tension in any part of your body, tighten that up and release it so it relaxes. Relaxation is the first part of meditation. Get your breath going. And then we're going to listen to this song, and then we'll go into this beautiful meditation.